as you guys all know, these streams are powered by BetUS. So we're gonna get into some lines, but real quick, let's revisit last week our prediction. It's game week. The Jaguars are playing the Miami Dolphins. The Jaguars are 3.5-point underdogs in this game.
I would take the Jaguars in that. I'm taking the Jaguars straight up. That might be a little biased. I don't think taking the Jaguars against the spread is biased. And I will take the over on, 49?
If this game was like week 4 or on, I would hammer that over. But I think because it's week 1, I think you're going to see it be not as high scoring as a lot of people think. So I'm taking the under on the points, total points. I'm not taking the Jags outright. I would take that 3.5 though. That hook.
This stream is powered by BetUS. 125% deposit bonus. I think that the Jaguars do wind up losing in a shootout. I do have them to cover. I'll have them going over. We're gonna put $20 on the Jaguars anyway to cover.
Hey, listen. What? Listen. We all know who the gambler is here. I don't know why y'all aren't listening to the gambler on here. I don't know why you even thought about it, but that's okay if you didn't.
So to recap,
3 for 3.
So the recap, we all got the Jaguars against the spread, right? Okay. Jordan was the only one to take the Jaguars outright. He also, like me,
should have been
took
right.
the Jaguars to go over. Should have been right, but it's not right. Okay. So unfortunately, Jordan went 1-2 in his picks. I went 2-1. And shout out to Jason. He goes 3-0. Shout out to him. So we all know who that guy is. Okay.
Doug just couldn't have me winning.
No. It was Doug's fault.
Hey,
no, that was great
or
by
was it Press
you.
Taylor's fault?
I'm gonna say Doug. That was great by you. Awesome picks.
Hey, listen.
It could have gone a different way though. It kind of just goes to show you with those betting. Like that's why I'm not in on this stuff.
Listen. The old saying is Vegas wants you to quit. You always quit gambling right before you win big. All right. So don't give up. Just keep putting your money in.
Don't give up. You don't be a quitter.
Don't be a quitter.
All right.
Quit gambling, quit your job, quit your life. Don't be a quitter.
So we're going to take a look at this upcoming week. Okay. This upcoming week, the Jaguars are 3.5-point favorites in this game. The over-under is actually at 41.5. So that's the over-under. So I guess toward the end, we can get into really how we think this game is going to play out. By the way, guys, this stream is powered by BetUS. If any of these lines interest you, 150% deposit bonus. Go to betus.com and type in promo code YouTube150. So I want to go around. I guess, Jordan, can you just like give us a little bit of a preview of this game, kind of set the table? Because I know, they got kind of destroyed by the Browns last week. Deshaun Watson, is he washed? Is this the same playoff team? I mean, I don't know if you've kind of dug into it and kind of looked into what happened in that game, but is this a game where, like, are the Browns a good team, or do you think that they are not going to be good this upcoming season?
Great defense, really bad offense. Bottom line, their offense looked like it was in hell against the Cowboys defense. Deshaun Watson looked lost out there. It was pretty easy to figure out what they were going to try to do offensively from play to play. He wants to be in the gun. They like to run it from under center. So not super difficult to predict what's going on out there. And he just didn't look like he was seeing the field well. He didn't look like he was accurate with the football. One thing he can still do is absolutely escape pressure, evade pressure. He's still got the athleticism to get that done. But it doesn't look great for him. Obviously, no Nick Chubb, no David Njoku. Offensive line, offensive tackle questions still. Are those guys going to be healthy? So you've got issues on offense, but that defense, goodness gracious. Myles Garrett is as good as they come. Like he absolutely is. Defensive MVP for a reason, or defensive player of the year, whatever they call it. And then Denzel Ward is still a great corner that is, if you're going to try to test him, you have to be on the money, no doubt about it. And there's just good pieces throughout. Zadarius Smith is still good. Grant Delpit's good. Juan Thornhill did just get put on IR, so they have a little bit of an issue there. But their nickel cornerback, who his name is escaping me right now for some reason. I loved him in the draft out of Northwestern. And then they also have Martin Emerson outside opposite Denzel Ward. Greg Newsome is the nickel. And they have good linebackers. It's sound. It's solid. They have a good front. Jim Schwartz, he likes to have his guys attacking. Defensive front is attacking all the time. And so they are very aggressive. And on third down, he's not afraid to run man coverage. He's not afraid to try to heat you up. So yeah, that's pretty much what you're looking at.
So what happened with them last week? I mean, they got routed by, Dallas 33-17. I mean, do you see the Browns potentially making the playoffs again this year?
No, unless they
No.
make a change at quarterback, which they won't because they can't.
Yeah, they literally can't. So Jason, when you look at the Browns, how are you feeling about just the opponent? Do you think the Browns are a good team? Of course, we don't really know these teams until after like 4 weeks goes by. I know, a lot of people were a little bit intimidated by the Jaguars playing, all these 4 playoff teams, but the Browns isn't a team that's consistently going to the playoffs, and they got killed in the playoff game against the Texans. So, how, I guess, optimistic are you about playing the Browns this Sunday at home?
It's hard for me to make an evaluation on the Browns because we know so little about them. Like, even in the game last week, they kind of showed a different offense than they showed last year because they tried to kind of center it this last week around Deshaun Watson, and he didn't play well. But I'm not going to say Deshaun Watson's like great by any means, but I think he'll get better as the weeks go on. And I think when he builds a little bit of camaraderie with his receivers, he's still got Cooper, he's still got Judy. Eventually he'll get Njoku back. I think he'll be better than what he showed last week. And just like we're all sitting here being like, oh, we're better than we were week 1, the Browns are all saying the same thing. So
you're actually not.
Well,
Browns fans wish they could ditch Watson in the worst possible way.
Yeah, I mean, I was perusing their subreddit, and there's still a little optimism there. There's still a little optimism as far as like, and honestly, I'll be honest with you, I think Jerome Ford's a hell of a back, and I think
he's a good back.
I'm not saying Jerome Ford's going to kill the Jags, but like, I'm not saying he's not going to kill the Jags. Like, I think this Jags defense being revamped and the way they play will be able to contain him. He didn't necessarily like kill us when we played him at the end of the year last year when Chubb was out either. But I think Ford's still a really good back. And kind of like I put the X factor on A-Chain last week, I think the X factor this week's Jerome Ford. And I think we have to stop him. I think he's going to be like, if we stop him, we win. And and I know this is kind of riding the fence here, but if our D-line and linebackers can stop their run game, I think we win easily. I think if we can't, we get into a time of possession type game. That, I guess we're not getting into our predictions yet, but that line at 41, like, sounds about right to me. Vegas knows what they're doing. So, I mean, I think that for me, it's going to be stopping Jerome Ford. I think they're going to try to take a little bit of pressure off Watson this week. Establish the run, establish play action. So for our defense, going to be reading your keys, getting your run pass read quick early in the play, reading the play action and drop into your zone or make sure your man doesn't release off a block quick. And so this game's hard for me to predict, but I think all of us, when we looked at the schedule, we kind of penciled this one in as like Jags. This is our best chance of winning these early games. So I think the Jags do end up winning. But it's hard for me to predict how it's going to look because we've seen such a small sample size from both teams.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess with this one, I know the thing that just concerns me every week, I think until we prove that we are good at it, is just the Jaguars offensive line versus pretty much whoever. And especially when you have a defensive line like the Browns have, you have Myles Garrett who just dominates games, and will our offensive tackles be able to hold them down, no matter where he plays. And it definitely worries me, and I want to be able to, give Trevor Lawrence enough time, but I think we can combat that with a balanced attack, with, continuing to, do things like, pass the ball in the middle of the field, try to get the play action going. Like, I really like the way the Jaguars were calling plays in the first, like, 2.5 quarters of that game. And then, so we have to keep that going. We can't play one-dimensional because the Jaguars offense just isn't built to go one-dimensional, okay? Unless you're playing, the Carolina Panthers or something, we're not going to be able to beat any teams by doing that. So when I look at this game, I'll give my first prediction first. I will say that the Jaguars do win, and I think that the Jaguars will cover as well. So they're gonna cover the 3-point spread, and they are going to win outright. But will they go over under? I have the under on 41.5. I think the Jaguars win this one 20-10. So next up, we'll go with Jordan. Okay, because I don't want anybody cheating off of Jason. Because
Thank you.
Jason
I was thinking that. I didn't want to say it.
Jason has the script, so we're gonna move on to Jordan. So we can all just kind of learn from Jason at the end.
I'm cheating off you. I'm 100% with you. I think the Jaguars cover. I think they win. I think it's under 41.
All right.
I just don't see the Browns putting up that many points. The Browns only scored 17 points last week because they were getting blown out, and the Cowboys defense let up at times because that's what happens when you're up by that much. You have some drives where you kind of just let up and you're not playing as hard because you're blowing the other team out. They had no business scoring 17 points last week.
All right. So
what's
Jason,
the over-under is 41.5, correct?
41.5 is the over-under.
And what's the spread on the game?
The spread is my thing.
Jags.
It's 3.
Jags?
It's 3 point. Jags -3.
Okay. Jags win 21-20. The under by a hook, and they don't cover the spread.
Ooh.
All right, you heard it here first.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and unfortunately, I just got logged out through the inactivity, but we're gonna go in here. We're gonna go in here. Yeah, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna put 20 on that. Look, we haven't. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I don't know if you guys are monitoring the activities on these streams, but we've never lost a bet we put down in here. So let's go ahead and change this.
Didn't you put 20 on the Jags hitting the over?
No, we only did the cover.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna put any money on over-unders. I don't think it's as fun. And we wanna I know it's for people like you, Jason, but not everybody is out here, betting on, the debate last night like you are.
So what are we doing here?
So I mean, all of us have the Jaguars covering, right?
Yeah. No.
What did you say, Jason?
I said Jags win by 1 point, don't cover.
Well, you are outmatched 2-1. Okay,
that's fair. That's fair.
The underdogs coming in, so we're gonna put 20 on it. Okay, 20. Say 20. It's easy. It's just like that. And if you guys want to do that too, put any money on this. Like I said, BetUS is a 150% deposit bonus for you. Just use YouTube 150 as your promo code. They have 24/7 customer support, quick 24-hour payouts, and even 10% gamblers insurance. If you guys aren't putting down bets like you guys are here in Club Jaguar and you guys are losing, they're gonna get you guys back a little bit of that. So shout out to them.